Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. My name is Jason Postel, managing broker of record at JP Capital Solutions. And today I wanted to go over a presentation. It's going to be short, straight to the point. It's not going to be some 90-minute web class, but I've had a lot of inquiries on even past teammates. I used to play professional baseball in the minor leagues for a number of years, and a lot of guys now are curious what is it that I'm doing. They know I'm in real estate, but don't they know I'm not just selling homes. I'm not just a realtor. There's more to this, and so I just wanted to give a little presentation on how I got started. I know it's tough for a lot of people. This isn't just for athletes, by the way. I just can speak to that a little better because I was in those locker rooms and I knew that baseball was all I knew. And when that day came to an end, it's like, well, how did I start a company without having to go back to school, have a degree, and nobody in the business to really kind of show me the ropes, right? So that's more or less what this is for. If you guys do stick around at the end, I'll give a free guide. It's not a book. You can get a hard copy if you'd like, but it'll just be a free guide just on this whole process and really how to get started. But this could also be just for anybody that's been in a job that's trying to get out of that rat race, create passive income, and freedom. Really, just what it's all about. So again, it's not going to be a 90-minute web class. It's just to help kind of show how you can supplement your income, how you can get into real estate without having any experience or waiting 5-10 years to figure it out. So again, thank you guys for taking your time to check this out. You're going to learn how to create passive income without having the experience. You may just be looking for the supplemental income, as I mentioned, and or you are trying to get completely out of the rat race, right? You've been working a job and just a lot of uncertainty, and right now, as it is, so figuring something out where you can work for yourself or figure out how to partner with others to get that freedom, right? So maybe you are an athlete, you are looking to supplement your minor league income, right? If you've been there, we all know it's not a big money maker till you make it to the big leagues, right? So maybe you're looking for something in the off season, maybe you're looking for something to set yourself up for when that day does end. That was the only thing looking back I wish I would have done sooner, right? Instead of waiting till I was out and figuring this all out. So maybe you're also newer to real estate investing and you're just not really sure how to get started. Uh, there's so much that's involved in real estate, different asset classes, and it's more than just fixing and flipping a house. We don't do that here. So I'll show you guys uh, which direction you could potentially go. And maybe this is for experienced investors that are just looking for new technology, new techniques, and way to blow up your business, right? And maybe find other partners in the space. So this will give you everything's changed, guys. I've had owners tell me, "Oh, you can't be a resource to me. I've done this longer than you've been alive." Well, that's true that they have done it longer than I've been maybe alive, but the technology that's came out yesterday that they've never heard of could really help them in the future, right? So there's always something new. It's always evolving, right? So we're gonna go through all this, and again, just to go through the main points, we're gonna show you how to create passive. This isn't just a chasing a check, flipping a home, getting a check, and then on to the next, right? It's creating passive income that you can pass down to your kids, your family, for generations, right? And we're going to show you how to choose the right deal, what vehicle, how to find the deal once you find out which deals you're looking for, right? And how do you get a hold of those owners, right? What do you say to those owners? How do you meet with them? How do you get them to want to sell to you? And then how do you get the money? Maybe you have the money. Maybe that's not your problem. Maybe you have cash just sitting in the bank making nothing and you want to put it somewhere you feel that's safe and that it's going to grow your money and preserve it while growing it, not just preserve it, right? Or maybe you're on the opposite end of that and you have zero money and you think this is even impossible right now because you think, oh, well, I have to work for 20 years and save up, then I can. That's wrong. I'll tell you a little deal story on myself personally. I didn't have money when I got out of the minor leagues. It had been long gone, and I was able to create partnerships where I was able to get money, get into deals without any uh, money myself, actually even being in debt at one point. So there is ways to do that, and we're going to show you how to. So just quick about me. I don't want to make this about me. I just want to give you an idea of who I am, who's talking to you right now. At the end, I'll give you guys, if you stick around, a free guide, and there will be an offer if you want to work a little closer to me. If you want to get on the phone, have a little conversation, I'm happy to help. But um, I'm a proud father. The first and foremost, I have a beautiful little girl. I am an ex-professional baseball player, so the athletes that are watching this, I know how it is to play a game your whole life, right, and then have that taken from you, whether that's an injury or just being released, right? Always had a passion for real estate, and I became an investor, a business owner, entrepreneur. Was always chasing freedom, right? I didn't always like being trapped in a classroom or a job from 9 to 5, right? So I had to self make the opportunity, right? It was never handed off. Like I said, I didn't have friends in the business or family that really showed me the ropes. It was just learning, right, by pretty hard experiences. So I'm going to go through some of those, and this is just to let you guys know my last season that I got injured. Again, I wasn't into real estate. I always had a passion for it growing up. Just didn't know. Uh, I didn't even start trying to learn about it when I was second. It was only 6 years ago that I got injured. I had my first baby girl summer, and I didn't have a job. I didn't have a degree, and I thought I just had to get a real estate license. So how do I get a real estate license? You might be thinking that you don't have to. You do not have to get a real estate license to be involved in real estate. A lot of investors actually prefer not to even have one. There's a lot of liability that goes on with that. So you do not have to have a license. I just thought that was the way. So I got a real estate license, and that it was a good move because I do have a real estate brokerage here, independent brokerage, but it wasn't about selling homes. I thought that was it. I quickly learned, even though I did well for a little while, until I figured out commercial real estate was where I wanted to be. I didn't flip houses. Everybody thinks flipping homes, that's where you can make the most quick money. And what you'll realize is, as I said earlier, you're just going to be chasing a check, right? You're going to be working hard. Some of these checks look good, but they're gone, right? They're not, unless you realize you can invest that and create passive every month after month for the rest of your life. That's what the goal for myself was. And I quickly realized getting a real estate license, that wasn't needed for what I wanted to do. So when I would go travel for baseball and be on the road, I always saw these buildings, and I realized, wow, these guys, in each one of these rooms are paying about $1,200, 1,800 each one of them. Right? And got me thinking, like, well, where's that money going? Right? It wasn't a condo where they were individually owned; they were all renting. So you think, well, it goes to whoever owns that building, right? And my first thought was, well, yeah, it's some big institution, some massive company. And yeah, a lot of times that's true. But what I studying, once I studied and realized, no, it's just a couple guys like you and me get together and figure this thing out, and they can own a building like that. Or mobile home parks, which I'm going to go through the asset classes, right? Here's another one. This is like a horizontal apartment building, right? Each one of these, somebody owns that entire land, right? And we own these now, the communities, right? So each person is paying a lot rent. And we're going to go over that, but this is the real estate brokerage I did set up, focusing on multifamily real estates. We do have a brokerage arm to sell these, but more more importantly to us and our business model is acquiring these with others to own ourselves, right? Instead of finding the deals and handing them off to others, we want to keep these for us and our investors and our partners, friends and family, to preserve their hard-earned money, right? And send them a nice return. So Lastly here, just to give you short, I started my own real estate firm with no knowledge in this space, right? I am able to make my own schedule, and our goal is to obtain 1,000 units inside the next 5 years. And I was fortunate to partner up with my now business partner. That's not her, it's a him. Tyler's his name, but he's been instrumental this whole process on that side of the business. I give him a lot of credit because I wouldn't be in the position I am with owning these if it wasn't for finding the right partner. So, what we do in short is we place capital from private individual lenders, right? That doesn't mean a bank either, into apartments and mobile home parks. These are income producing commercial assets that don't require development. We don't build it from the ground up. And we require experienced, local, and knowledgeable operators, right? So it's not just somebody that's just randomly buying a building and then we're handing it off to somebody. We know the markets. We have on-site management and operations to make sure the day-to-day goes smooth. So the different types of asset classes, you might be wondering, well, here's two that I mentioned, the stars, right? Multifamily, mobile home parks, self-storage facilities are really great, but you hear a lot about like, oh, well, retail. People that hear commercial real estate, they think it's a retail strip center or like a shopping mall. Those are getting slammed right now. That's not what we focus on. That is commercial real estate, but commercial real estate is in multifamily anything over 5 units. Okay, we look at a minimum of 16 units just because it's economically viable for scaling and putting in those managers and on-site management so that we don't have to deal with it. If it's too small, we can't get the income to pay off all the other expenses to have somebody there. So there's office buildings, student housing, hotels, retail. This is all commercial real estate, and they can be great, but it's not what we focus on, right? Um, I do have some agents in my brokerage that do some great deals and these others, but just for us personally to acquire, these are safe, affordable housing. That's always going to be a demand. You have food, water, and right behind those two as a necessity is shelter, right? So housing. And they create passive income, guys. Think about the first of the month. Bills usually go out, right? You got to pay this bill, that bill, this. Well, when you own these buildings and land that homes are on, it's the other way around, right? The first of the month, they owe you rent. I know right now we've had some moratorium on evictions. You might be thinking, oh yeah, well, what if they don't pay rent? Well, that also goes back to the problem with owning a 2-unit or 4-unit. If you own a duplex, one person's not paying, now you're 50% occupied. That's really bad. If you own 100 units and 5 people leave and don't pay, guess what? You're still 95% occupied. I mean, that's what makes the scale a beautiful thing. And you just got to think to yourself, if you're working a normal job, what do you do if you get fired tomorrow? Do you have something that's paying your bills every month, or are you the sole reason why those bills are getting paid, right? What if you are on a baseball team or an athlete and you get released tomorrow or injured, right? Robots, artificial intelligence, it's crazy. I heard Elon Musk say the other day, within 10 years, he thinks almost all vehicles will be autonomous, right? They're going to drive themselves. It's absolutely crazy. So where would your income come from? And especially right now, we're in the midst of a significant cycle where there's defaults, there's large retailers shutting down, there's lower valuations starting to come, there's higher loan to values and mortgage resets that are going to tighten this regulatory environment right on the loans. So how are you finding the funds for this? We go through a process. I'm not going to get too into this. And I promise I'm going to get you to the meat of this where if your eyes are starting to get crossed, just stick with me here. I just want to show you our process because it is a lot to learn, but you just have to know and have the tools to be able to learn it, right? So from sourcing, how do you find this? How do you underwrite the property? Meaning, how do you gather all the income and expenses and analyze that, right? What is your discipline? What markets are you going into? Is there metrics that you're looking for, like population, income, all this affects it, right? What is the risk management? What are you doing to reduce your risk in that? And how are you exiting this, meaning a sale? If you have to sell this asset, what are you doing? So it's just such a process, and you might be thinking this is very overwhelming. There's a lot, right? And then you to look at this. This is the underwriting I mentioned with all of the income, and I'm going to show you guys how to get through this. I know you're probably like, this is way too much right now. And if you're seasoned, then you understand this, but it's okay. I'm going to get to it. I just want to show you guys, this is what I would mention with the underwriting. There's a lot of metrics that are involved, but right now I just wanted to touch on the stock market. I know right now everybody that is in it is doing great for the most part, but it's just so unknown, right? It goes up, it goes down, you don't know why. And just to show a comparison in real estate on a if on an 8% preferred return, if you want to know how to get 50,000 of income, passive income dividends, you would have to invest 2.9 million of Apple stock to receive that 50,000 a year, right? Opposed to real estate, that 50,000 on 8%, which we do offer on a lot of our investments, it would only require 625,000. So you might be thinking to yourself now, oh great, so I need to have 600,000 to get that 8%. No, you don't um, at all. This is just to show you how it compares, right? You can get this return without any of your own money, right? And that's what this is about. I just wanted to touch on that. Um, I'm jumping ahead a little bit here, just because we're going to go over this. You're going to have to go over your script, right? Once you find your deal, there's 3 points here. All right, get your leads, get your mail campaign, and master the cold call. All right, and in our program, right here, I'm going to show you log in. I'm just going to show you our portal really quick. There's a continuum, right? So we're going to walk you through every piece of this, from your business planning, your research and database, guys, which you get right here. So for example, I know I'm hopping around, so just stay with me. For example, this gives you, if you want to find deals in the MLS, great. If not, you can click on any area. If you drive by, there's tutorial videos in here, right, to show you how to database. Like if you were just driving the street, right, and you found this building, let's say, how would you get them on the phone? Right, you can find that address in here. You can zoom in, and you have access to these owners, right? You literally just click on the building, what you're trying to find, right? It gives you all the information. Look, Gerard Family Inc. Okay, well, how do I get him on the phone? So I go through all of that in here. This is the development call, okay? Which you're not just going to cold call, okay? There's a process to this, which uh, we will also go through that. I know I'm throwing a lot at you right now, and that's why I'm going to offer a call if you have any other questions. But this is going to show you how to do it in the steps, right? You got to find who you're going to call, and this is also stuff, guys. Just to, full disclosure here from consulting. Like I've paid for this information, for the knowledge, the just how do I do this? So this is the action plan, the prospecting letter, right? And then it makes the cold call a lot warmer, right? So we're going to go through all this in the portal. You can go through it. It even goes through the steps that you take through that, the questions to ask, overcoming the objections, because you will get a lot of them. And I even show, it's funny, I go through cold calls. I think there's even a video in here with my daughter. Just going through a cold call, getting hung up on. So don't let this opportunity, pass you by, guys, just because you think it's a lot of information. There's just to jump back to this real quick. Once you dial in the steps, we also have a database here, for example, that you'll have all the numbers, you'll have it all organized, and you'll start dialing into a process, right? And it takes a while, and here it is right here, from finding these properties all the way to closing here. So, a lot of us have heard of LoopNet, but there's so many other sites, and there's due diligence. Like once you get a contract on this, like what is the steps to make sure that there's no busted pipes, and I mean, guys, it keeps going, and it can be overwhelming if you're just trying to wing it and figure it out. I do give downloadable assets that you can have your own pitch deck, right? Like we're going through right now, a slide deck. And there's just so much more stuff, guys. How do you underwrite these deals? There's software here that I give you to plug in numbers. It's literally a plug and play. So it's knowing and then doing, right? Knowing isn't doing. So first you have to understand this stuff. And then the second part, and the most important part, is really doing it, right? And it can get overwhelming. It can even get depressing at times when you're starting out and you're trying to more or less just figure it out, and you're not seeing the instant results that everybody thinks you can get because they watch some guy drive up on a Lambo and show a check for 100,000, right? It doesn't go like that immediately. So what I want to offer you, you guys today is this whole program, right? Everything that I've shown you from, there's mail campaigns, there's cold call scripts, and guys, book a call, and I'm happy to help out however I can. I don't want to make this about a sales thing, but I know that I've paid a lot of money and it's helped just compress that time, and I want to offer something to you guys to do the same. So, from the deal analyzer, from your step-by-step process, all of this, these are real numbers. The purchase contracts, me and my business partner have paid $10,000 on some of our documents that we've used and that we have in here. So, what is that worth, you guys? What if you add it all up? $14,000 on the lower end, right? But condensing all this into a matter of 90 days is priceless, right? So, 14,000. If you just paid 14,000 and you were able to create passive income that sets you up financially and gives you the freedom to do whatever you want, I mean, is that even worth it right there, right? I know guys paying $30,000 for a mastermind, right? And it's worth it because you're getting around the right people. So for 10 grand, right, is that worth it to you? But understand, some of you guys are starting out, you might not have that, right? So this lifetime access, you'll have lifetime access to this portal, to this vault, to the updated cold call scripts, checklists, purchase contracts, analyze. You're going to have lifetime access for $497, and that's a one-time payment. But if you do want to work a little bit closer and be on the weekly coaching calls, if you want to have that software that I showed, that's a monthly subscription. That's something that I pay for as a brokerage that you can pay thousands of dollars for on your own and have that. And that's really one of the only tools you need to find this, guys. And the other stuff you can find for free, how to find someone's number, right? But if you want all of this in one seamless package, I'm offering a monthly $97 membership. Some of my other agents are in there, brokers, and this resource center. You'll have this as long as you're in our mentorship program. You're going to have that. So that's it, guys. I'm going to send you guys the guide anyway for being on this. But please book a call, ask any other questions, and I know this is going to help you guys out, whether you're trying to get out of the rat race, as we mentioned earlier. Maybe you're a current athlete that, I wish I had something like this when I was on those 8-10 hour bus trips and had a lot of downtime, right? So there's so much stuff in here that I've taken from learning and paying for courses, mentors, and even just true life experiences, right? Deal experiences. So it's really invaluable, right? And I wish I could just give it all for free, and a lot of it is in that book for free. So, but there is tools, software, resources that know a lot of people, if they don't pay, they don't take it serious, right? So
I hope that was helpful. I'm here to help. Please just book a call, or if you want to get started, you can start downloading these resources right away and get busy, guys. But I look forward to seeing you guys on the inside.